Good morning. Welcome to Speaking of Animals. I'm Amy Cartenuto from Flagler Humane Society. With me today is a very special guest, especially for this time of year. I have Father Jim May. Good morning, Father.
Good morning.
Good morning. So tell us real quick about you, a little bit about where you're from and where you are now.
I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I moved here in 1985, and I was a lay person, and I lived in Flagler Beach for a while. And then 5 years later, I went into seminary to become a priest.
Oh, so when did you become a priest?
In 1992.
Okay.
I'm a second career.
Okay. What was your first career?
I cut hair.
Really?
Yes.
That's quite
and
the bridge.
I said I may as well become a priest. I already baptized people in the sink, and believe me, I have heard a lot of confessions. People sitting in the chair.
Well, I wanted to have you on the show today, partially to thank you so much for coming out to the Humane Society earlier this week and blessing all of the shelter animals.
Yes, it was great.
It's so awesome. And we've got little St. Francis of Assisi medallions to give to the adopters now. Yeah. So that was really cool. So tell us a little bit about the origination of the pet blessing, because this time of year we see them, you see them all around everywhere. Yes. So tell us what started all that.
All right. Once a year around October 4th, St. Francis Day, we bless the animals. St. Francis loved animals, and he used to refer to them as his brothers and sisters. And, of course, myself, I refer to my cats as my little children. Mm-hmm. Because when you have an animal, love really helps you to become closer together. And animals do that.
For sure.
Yes.
So you went around the entire shelter yesterday. I know we started with the education room. We've got Midnight and Sophie and all the cats. And
right. Yes.
You went to all the cat rooms, right? You went to all the kennels.
Yes, I was amazed at how much well-behaved all of the cats were. It's sad, though, to see so many of them that need to be adopted. And, life is more beautiful when you can love and receive love and give love. And you can do that when you have an animal because you can't help but love them.
Right.
That's how I wound up with 5 cats.
That's what you have, 5 cats now?
Yes.
Oh.
When I was in Crescent City, people drop off animals thinking someone in the church will take them, and unfortunately that doesn't happen. And so the cats would find their way back to where I lived, and I start feeding them, and then we fell in love, and they became my children.
Any dogs or just cats?
No, just cats.
Okay, that's good, though. 5's a good number.
Yes.
6 would be an even better number.
Well. The funny thing, how it all started out with my getting cats, I'm highly allergic to cats. And my eyes would break out, and I couldn't stop sneezing. And where I lived over there in Crescent City, people told me, if you get a cat, you won't have snakes because there's a lot of snakes over there. And I did. I got a cat, and I let him outside because I'm allergic to him. And the veterinarian said, you can't leave him outside or he'll die. So I said, well, if I let him inside, I'll die because I'm allergic to him. But I let him in, and I wouldn't let him in my bedroom. I kept that secure. But one day I opened the door, and the cat put his head down and did a somersault on a little belly flop on. And he made me laugh. I said, if you can make me laugh at 6 o'clock in the morning, you can stay here. And ever since then, he slept with me in my bed. And I never sneezed again.
That's cool. So it's almost like people that get allergy shots. Like you got a little dose of cat hair long enough that now you're okay.
I'm fine.
It's awesome.
Yep.
See, that's a good plan. We should tell people that.
Yes. Where there's love, there's a way.
Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. So back to the pet blessings. Now you're with St.
Elizabeth Ann Seton Church.
Yes.
And this Saturday, I believe it is, that we're going to have the blessing of the pets. So if you call the church to find out exact time and place, they'll direct you. You bring your animals there, and they receive a special blessing and some prayers with it.
I love that. I love that. And I know there's pet blessings, all over town.
Sure.
Do you remember, I wrote an article about the St. Francis of Assisi and the pet blessings years ago, but I don't remember why why this time of year? Was it his birthday, or why was
the time his feast day, the feast day of St. Francis, St. Francis? Yeah, that we do that, and that's why, in honor of him and his love.
Yeah, that's so nice. I hope that we remember to give out the little St. Francis medallions as everybody gets adopted, that they've been blessed by Father Jim. So thank you so much for doing that for us. I thought it was really nice. Maybe next year we could schedule, like at the shelter, have you come over and bless some, let people come and bring their pets.
Sure. I'd like to bring them back to where they all started.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, everybody, you heard that here first. Next year, we got Father Jim at the shelter.
And the blessing in that way is a outward show of love for your pet.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I know you did the holy water on everybody yesterday.
Yes. And the cats loved it, but the dogs weren't too keen on me throwing water on them, but can't please them all.
If they knew that they were being blessed, they would have appreciated it.
I've had animals that I've been in there and were barking their head off, and when I threw the holy water, they were very quiet. They just sat and looked. So
now, you had said so you're retired now, but you're still
right.
You're still
I retired
working
3 times, and I finally gave up and said retirement doesn't work. So. But I'm happy to be able, as long as I'm healthy, I want to keep on doing what I do.
Yeah, you got to make some money to feed all those cats, right?
All those cats. And my rabbits, I have wild rabbits in the back of my house. It's a preserve. And the little rabbits are out there, and I call them, and they see me, and I have my carrots ready, and I bend down and very quietly, and they come up and take the carrots out of my hand.
Aww. Well, I love
and
that.
I feel so good because whenever you exchange love like that, especially to animals, you receive 10 times back.
For sure. Unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Exactly.
So, since you mentioned rabbits, I have to mention our other guest today in the studio is Snowball. Snowball's hiding. There she
is. You heard her name.
Yeah, that's Snowball. So Snowball's up for adoption at the shelter. Just, a nice, healthy, young rabbit. She's, I think she does well in her cage at the shelter, but I think she'd also do do well just hopping around somebody's house, being a house rabbit. But we have other rabbits at the shelter, but one of them had come to us as a found rabbit, just like what you say, people that see wild rabbits, but this was obviously not a wild rabbit. And of course we hold animals hoping that an owner will show up looking for them, and nobody showed up looking for this rabbit. So we think maybe somebody abandoned the rabbit. People don't realize, there's domestic rabbits and then there's wild rabbits, and it can be really difficult for a domesticated rabbit to be just thrown out in the wild. They're not used to having to fend for themselves, and so.
And they're not hard to take care of either.
Exactly.
Maintenance-free.
It's cleaning. For yours, for the wild rabbits, but even for a pet rabbit, you have to clean their areas, their cage or their surroundings.
But they don't make a lot of noise.
They're definitely they're nice,
barking or meowing.
Nice and quiet. So they make nice pets, and a little bit of maintenance here for their health, but usually not as much as what a dog or a cat would take, but a little bit of keeping their teeth down and their nails down and their ears clean and making sure they don't have any parasites. But they are relatively easy pets to take care of. Or like you say, the wild ones are even easier. They just buy them some carrots, right?
Yes, that's it.
How many do you have out there, do you think?
They come and they go. Unfortunately, I read up, and the wild rabbits don't last much more than a year because of the wildness of the other animals that go after them. Well,
you said you're in Flagler Beach, or
no? I'm in Palm Coast now.
Okay.
Now I bought a house in Palm Coast.
Okay. Well, hopefully they're safe there, and at least they're getting a free meal. So
yes.
Well, we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Dr. Jim May and Snowball and me.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Speaking of Animals. So, Father Jim, I guess I mistakenly earlier called you Dr. Jim. I see I'm giving you more titles. So you're Father Jim. Father Jim.
Yes.
From St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Church.
Correct.
Doing pet blessings this weekend. And another thing that we had talked about that you do in your line of work that relates to animals is you've helped people through some difficult times when they're losing their pets or...
Right. It's a very difficult time for people because your pets, when you have them for a while, they are like your children or your brother or sister. You grieve over them just like you would a human being because they are such a part of your life. Animals give you unconditional love. And it's not just because they're hungry or they want you to pet them on the head. It's because they have a need to be loved and to give love, which is all of us. That's the secret to a happy life, to love and give love. And so when you have an animal, you're able to help them. They can help you just as much. They're there for you. They care for you. And I believe it's a fact that people who have animals are able to handle things in their own life better than people who have no one to talk to.
I think so.
I tell my cats, I've got 5 cats, I tell them my problems, not that they can solve them, but at least I get it out and can tell them. I'll say, look, Dad, I call him Daddy.
Uh-huh.
I say, Daddy loves you, and Daddy's tired now. He wants to sleep. Don't be bothered. But they want to come up, and they get on my chest, and they want to kiss me and all, But that's what love is,
Yeah. So when you have helped people through, I mean, we don't know who all is listening to our show. For maybe we have people that are listening that have recently lost a pet. Like, what advice do you give them to get through it? Because, like you were saying,
I went through it.
Yeah, we've all gone through it, and it's
make sure you have pictures first of all of your pet, which I think most people do. I mean, if you looked at my cell phone now, you'd think, well, man, this is nothing but a bunch of cats on here. But that's part of love too. It's the memory. You want to keep the memories alive, and to remember the good times that you had with your pets and the love that they gave you. But having a picture or something like that helps you to. I don't mean a rabbit's foot. I see you shaking, little rabbit. There. But to be able to keep their memories alive and thank God for the gift of their life too, because you think about how much love they give you and you can give them.
For sure. And I know, I know so many people that have lost pets, and for the most part, the people that I'm friends with are usually people that are head over heels with their animals, and they've given them the best care. So I just always remind them, like you say, remember the good times, remember that you did everything right. People get a lot of veterinary care for their pets, and they give them, the pets have their own furniture in the house, and they've been on trips with their people, and
and just toys.
Yeah, I just always remind people, like, you gave that animal a good life, and unfortunately, their lives are so much shorter than ours. It's not really fair.
Right.
It's not fair, but that's nice that you can help people through that. And any other advice that you have for people going through it?
Well, is to know, I believe that God does not create anything out of love and then let it cease to be. Love is eternal, and God created our animals out of love. And because of that, I believe that someday we will be reunited with that love in one way or another, because that love will never die. Yes, we feel the pain now, but with love comes pain, and knowing with that pain, love will continue on in eternity, because it never dies.
Yeah, I like that because different beliefs.
Right.
People believe all different kinds of things, and people say animals don't go to heaven.
Yeah, they go to dog heaven or cat heaven. But I do believe God put us here for a reason, and put the animals here for a reason, and love never dies.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So now away from grief. Now I want to talk about something funny that you mentioned earlier.
Yes,
we were talking about rabbits,
right?
And you said there was a in Flagler Beach, there was a rabbit that...
Yes, the rabbit lived down the street a couple blocks, and that rabbit hops all the way up to my sister's house, and she had a small, beautiful cat, and they were inseparable. The rabbit loved the cat, and my sister finally found out who owned the rabbit, and they took him back about 3 or 4 times, but the rabbit kept coming up and wanted to be with the cat. He was in love. So as I said, love never dies. So they have it be what it is. It was love.
Yeah, and it was. You said it was a bit of a romance too. And I don't even know what to call that. A cat.
I called it pornography, but I'm just kidding. I said to my sister when she said, "Oh, look at they're trying to make love." I said, "Oh, don't you? That's not."
They got it wrong.
I can't look out that window. Let them. Craziness between a rabbit and a cat.
But that's funny that the rabbit went like 5 blocks to catch up
all the way up to see the cat.
And I'm sure there were other cats between where the rabbit started and where the rabbit found your sister's cat, but it was that cat that he wanted to be friends with.
They loved each other. Fell in love.
It's a sweet story of cat-rabbit love.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. Welcome back to Speaking of Animals. I just wanted to mention a few different upcoming events that we have. The Humane Society has our Halloween Yappy Hour. It's going to be at 1405 Saloon. And we always have a pet Halloween costume contest. And then we have owners and their pets together, the costume contest for the duo, and then a costume contest for just the human. So that's always a fun event. I like the Halloween event for the shelter, and all the proceeds come to help us take care of the animals. Also, this time of year, we're looking for crafty people to make wreaths. The Windsor Assisted Living does a wreath event for us every year. The wreaths are put on the residence doors, and then there's a silent auction the first Sunday in December, or maybe it's the second Sunday. But that's always a fun event. So this time of year, we're still looking for people to make those wreaths. So if you know any crafty people, tell them to make wreaths for the shelter. And then our golf tournament, also the first Monday in December at Grand Haven. So if you're interested in any of those events or anything to help the shelter animals, go on our website, flaglerhumanesociety.org, and check us out. And Father May, or Dr. May, as I have called you now. I've seen you, Doc. So Father Jim. May, Father Jim.
I'm not old enough to be Father May.
Okay. Trying to make it more formal here. So Father Jim, this time of year, the church usually has like a fall festival or something, right?
Yes, if you check on the church's webpage, they'll give you the time and the day. And I'd just also like to encourage everyone to bring your animals for the blessings this weekend. Check with the church on the time and the place, and bring any of your animals you want. But please, if you have a snake, you don't have to bring a snake. Just draw a squiggly line on a piece of paper, and that'll suffice.
You'll bless that.
We'll bless that.
Send it.
Yes.
So, thank you again for coming to the shelter this week and blessing all the shelter animals. And next year, we're going to organize it. We're going to have a pet blessing where people can bring their pets to the shelter and get blessed. So, thank you again, Father Jim. Yes. And thank you, Snowball, for being a nice, quiet guest on the show today. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Take care.